Hello, and welcome to the PowerPoint presentation that is going to tell you about your research project. So we have a research project that will cover different medias. You get to pick one media that you would like to research. The steps, like I said, you'll be researching a media of your choice. You will be writing a 5-page paper over this media. You will be creating an artwork using the media you have researched, meaning if you choose chalk pastels to research, you're going to be creating a chalk pastel drawing. If you choose acrylic paint, you'll be creating an acrylic painting. So you can't research oil paint and then use chalk pastels, for example. You will be making an audio PowerPoint presentation presenting your media. I'll go over the steps for that later on. So the first thing you're going to do is choose a media that you find interesting. Look through chapters 6 through 12 for help finding a media. So we don't cover all those chapters in our class, but you're welcome to use anything from any of those chapters. You're also welcome to use something that's not in the book. If you find that you're interested in a media that the book doesn't cover, you can always shoot me an email and ask, but more than likely I'll say, yes, that's absolutely fine. Make sure to consider the cost of the materials as you are required to purchase them. So if you are on a budget, you want to think about the fact that oil paints are expensive. So you might want to do something more like chalk pastels that are a little bit less expensive, not only to buy the actual chalk pastels, but also to buy the paper that you're going to be drawing on. Okay, so your paper will consist of 4 parts: the outline, the text, the works cited page, and the imagery. So you're going to have 4 separate parts for just the paper, just the written paper part. So the paper, the outline is the first thing that you're going to be doing. The outline should be done in Roman numerals, and you're going to use the outline to help structure your paper. So it needs to follow pretty closely in the end what your paper is saying. Now you can turn in a rough draft of your outline, and that will change over the course of your researching and everything else. So like I said, you're going to turn in a rough draft of your outline. This should be a general outline in which you include the media and the artist you are going to research. You may end up researching more than one artist, as this is a 5-page paper. You need to include a quotation, a citation, and a source for your outline. If it does not include these things, I will more than likely send it back to you and ask, please include these things before I will grade it. You're going to turn in both the rough draft and a final draft of the outline with your finished paper. So you're going to have 2 drafts of the outline, just so I can see, okay, they definitely did their rough draft, and then the final draft has some changes to it perhaps, and definitely follows the written portion of the paper. Okay, so the paper is the text, or the text of the paper. You're going to write a 5-page paper about your media. You're going to include things about the history of the media, an artist or artists who use the media, but I don't need a biography. So this does not need to be the life story of each artist that you choose to research. Really, I want to know more about how they're using the media in their work. So like if I was going to do oil paints, for example, and I choose Van Gogh, I would talk about how he uses an impasto technique in a lot of his work and really builds up a texture for his pieces. Then I want to know about your experience using the media in this project. So talk to me about learning a new media, or if maybe you've had some experience with the media, talk about that. And then definitely talk about the project that you made for this paper and your challenges with it, etc. Make sure to include citations of any information you have gained through research. This includes paraphrasing information and quotation. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. So the paper, the works cited page. You need 3 specific sources on your topic at least, including but not limited to books, periodicals, an interview with an artist, and the internet. Consider interviewing art faculty for a source as well. We've got great faculty here. Only academic sources count. Please do not use things like Wikipedia as a source. No encyclopedias. The sources are alphabetized by the author's last name on the works cited page. If you don't have the author, you go with the title of, perhaps like you found an article on a website, you would go with the title of the article or the website. Okay, so the paper, the imagery. You must include imagery from the artist you research as well as imagery of your original artwork. Because this is an art research paper, you're going to be talking about artwork. Anything that you mention in terms of an artwork, you need to provide an image for. So again, let's go back to my Van Gogh example. If I'm talking about his impasto technique and I want to bring up Starry Night, for example, I would include that. Even though I know people know what that looks like, probably I'm going to include an image of it for their reference. Each image should be on a separate page and label each image with the title, artist, and date. You may also number the images to help reference them in your text. So example, image 1, but you also need to reference the title, artist, and date. So the first time that you mention, let's say I mentioned Van Gogh's Starry Night. The first time I mention, I'm going to talk both about the title, the artist, and the date. And then from there on, I can just say image 1 if I want to make it a little bit easier. So the artwork that you're going to be creating, you're going to create an artwork of your choice using the media you research. Make sure to use the correct materials and techniques. For example, if you choose pencil, make sure to use drawing pencils and drawing paper. There are, specific drawing pencils that you can buy, and definitely drawing paper that's going to react differently than normal, like printer paper, for example. Take pictures of you creating your artwork and include at least one in your presentation so that I can see that this is an original artwork that you created for this presentation. Attach a picture of your artwork to your paper and in your presentation. So I should be able to go to your paper, look through the images and find an image of your artwork, but I should also be able to see that artwork in your presentation. So let's talk about the presentation. You're going to create a PowerPoint presentation about your research. This should be an audio PowerPoint that you can record. You guys have access to PowerPoint through the school, so make sure that you're using it. Open your PowerPoint, click on the slideshow tab, then click on the record slideshow button to record audio. It should be 2 to 5 minutes in length. And include important points from your paper. You don't need to read the entire thing. Just, maybe even look at your outline and kind of just talk about the major points that you've covered in your outline. Include your experience with creating an artwork and images of your artwork. So definitely talk about your own personal experience and show me your completed artwork. If you need more information, you can always email me, but the grading rubric and all these instructions are in the syllabus, so make sure to visit that if you need more help. Thank you.